What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Taylor Hinton Speaks His Mind. Today, I'm in my mom's basement because we just had a couple sleepovers here for Christmas. Hope you guys all had an amazing time with family and friends. Got your favorite gifts. I got an amazing gift here. For those of you looking on YouTube or watching live on Instagram or Facebook, Angela got me this really cool sweater with Rue's name on it. It's like a Gap styled sweater, but instead of Gap, it says Rue on the top of it with her face, like a photo that Angela got printed, established 2023 when Rue was born. Love this sweater, super cool. That's my favorite gift over Christmas. Today on our Form Friday session, as you guys know, what I do is share my screen live for you guys on Facebook, and if you're watching this on the replay, this will be on YouTube as well as Apple Podcasts. Obviously, there's no video on Apple Podcasts. This is where I go through my clients' lifts and give them some feedback on their technique, their tempo, whether they're lifting heavy enough or lifting too heavy, and just breaking everything down so that we have a really clear understanding about what we should be doing in the gym to maximize our opportunities. Because if you're going there and you're going to lift weights and spend the time in the gym anyways, you might as well be pushing yourself and doing things properly so you can get the most out of those lifts. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and get into it. Just before I do, a little bit of housekeeping. January 3rd for our clients is our cold plunge sauna event at Poseidon Sauna and Cold Plunge in Chilliwack, BC. It's on January 3rd from 10 a.m. until 11:30. We've blocked off the entire time for just us and our clients. So you're going to hang out with us in person. We're going to do the cold plunge. We're going to do the sauna. We're going to set some goals for 2026 and connect as a community, have a good time by the fire, and just chill out. In addition to that, with your $100 ticket to come to the 1.5 hour event in person, you're also getting entered into win a $200 supplement gift card customized to you and your goals. We're going to work with you on that to get you the supplements that you need that'll be most beneficial. You're also going to get a $200 gift card to give to a family member or friend as, call it a Boxing Day gift, a 2026 fitness gift that you're giving them, a late Christmas present. Maybe it's an early birthday present that you're going to be giving to them, so that they can join as well and get a bit of a deal on their sign up as well. You'll get a t-shirt with us as well. And also you get a month for free. That's right. Yeah, you get a month for free. Totally forgot that. I feel like on the last couple times I've announced that. So that's it for our housekeeping. Let's get right into it. I'm going to share my screen and get into the lift and learn community for you guys. We're going to break down some lifts, make sure that we're crushing it. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and close that down there. You guys should be able to see my screen. Let's get into our first one that we have, which is Sarah Mean, who is our Holiday Sprint Challenge winner. Sarah, because of her consistency, dedication, and hard work, won a $500 cash prize from just tracking her food, getting her workouts done, hitting all of her steps, and posting online on a daily basis for accountability. She was one of 6 people who actually nailed the execution of that challenge, and then we had to just do a draw to see who was going to be the final winner, and she ended up winning. So congrats to Sarah. First one she has here is a bench press. Went up weight, felt pretty good about my form, but maybe I could even be down a bit more still, but I actually feel better about it overall. I imagine that when you say down still a little bit, I imagine you mean that the weight should have touched your chest, but we're going to take a look. I like your foot positioning, feet underneath your hips, shoulder blades and scapula retracted, big puffy chest for the bench press. That's what we want to puff our chest up. Good tempo, good control of the weight. This looks really good. Is that a 35-pound bar? Because I don't see any extra weight that you, aside from the one plate that you have on there, and I know your previous weight that you had was 95. So if you went, Sarah, from 95 pounds to 115, you made a 20-pound jump in your bench press. If that is true, that is really good, and you should be very impressed, because I am. I think this technique is great. I don't think you need to make any changes with it. A little cue that always helps with just making sure we're stabilizing the bar really well is squeezing the bar with your pinkies. Focus on squeezing with your pinkies, because it's easy and natural for us to, to squeeze with your index finger and your thumb. We kind of forget about the pinkies. But when you squeeze your pinkies, when you focus on that, you're getting better lat engagement, and you're inherently like breaking the bar. What you're doing is you're kind of like, when you squeeze your pinkies and you really focus on that, you have the sensation of breaking or bending the bar. And when you do that, all of your back muscles also engage. So when you're doing a bench press properly for the first time, you'll actually feel a little bit of soreness in your lats the next day, and that tells you that you did a very good job. This form looks overall really good. You can get a little bit more stable by squeezing your pinkies, but other than that, Sarah, I think you did awesome. Sam, we have I think this is your deadlift PR, which is really, really cool. Really proud of this achievement. 265 pounds. After I recorded this, I was able to hit 270 pounds. Let's go. All right, Sam, let's take a look at it. See how we're going. Nice and stable, getting set up, taking a good breath. Okay, so the first thing I'm noticing here, Sam, is that that bar looks a little bit too far in front of your feet. We can't really tell from the video at the beginning because the plate is covering your feet, but I can tell because as you stand up, it looks like the bar kind of kicks back towards your body a little bit. If we have the bar directly over top of almost like our ankle, like the middle of your foot to the very beginning of your foot, like where your foot and your ankle meet. If you were to stand over top of the bar and look straight down at the bar, that bar should intersect basically at your ankle or maybe at like the midfoot position, so that when you stand up, that bar goes directly straight up and straight down, almost like in a Smith machine. Like that's how we want to have that bar path, is so perfectly straight up and down. That would be an ideal spot for you. I think that we can do a better job of pushing our armpits down towards our hips a little bit, but I love that your chest is up nice and tall. That looks awesome. Double overhand grip with no straps. This overall, Sam, is way, way better than when you first started, bro. Like, technique looks much, much better. You look smooth. You look like you're controlling the weight really well. You're owning that weight, and you're doing, again, like a double overhand grip with no straps. So what's going to happen, Sam, is your grip is going to give out before your legs will, because, of course, your forearms are significantly smaller than your glutes, hamstrings, low back, and your quads. Your glutes, hamstring, low back, and quads are all the main muscles that are going to be working for this exercise. So if you end up losing your grip with this bar, it means that your grip is failing you before the actual target muscles are, meaning that you can actually lift even more weight than this and get an even better response. So first thing before you get straps is to do the switch grip, one hand over, one hand under. I like doing my strong hand, like my strong hand. So my left hand in my case, I'm left-handed. I have my left hand over grip and my right hand under grip, and that'll give you a little bit more grip for doing this weight. And then honestly, man, like right after watching this, what you need to do is go on Amazon with your new Christmas gift card that you got from somebody and spend that $20 on that gift card on a pair of straps, because the sooner that we can do that, the faster we're going to be able to lift more weight and start challenging your back, glutes, quads, and hamstrings rather than your forearms. Being this as a deadlift exercise, obviously, and that we're only doing 3 repetitions, we definitely want to lift as much as we can. And I truly believe that you could probably get yourself over 300 pounds like right away, assuming that you had straps on, okay? Not a strap on, everybody. Straps on. Okay. Jasmine, she made it for 8:45 in the morning. This was a few days ago. She's got an incline dumbbell bench press. So Jasmine, we got to control that weight a little bit better on the lowering phase. The weight's kind of moving you around quite a bit, and we want to make sure we're squeezing those weights nice and hard. And we need to bring that weight all the way down to your chest. You're bringing that weight right now. The weight is like directly over top of your chin at the top, which is fine. When your elbows are fully extended and you have the bar or the weight all the way overhead, it's okay for the weight to be like kind of in line with your chin. But as you lower that weight, what I want you to do is kind of tuck your elbows downwards so that at the bottom position, they're about a 45-degree angle from your body, not at 90 degrees. As we watch here, when you open up, if we were to look like top-down view, we would see that your elbows are straight out to the side, right? And we want your elbows to actually be tucked in a little bit more. And we want these dumbbells to sit into your armpits. Like you need to actively pull the dumbbells into your armpits, pause for a split second, and then explode the weight up off of your chest. Right now, you're getting about 50% of the range of motion that you could get. And you will have better development in the muscles. You're going to have bigger, stronger muscles when you express that full range of motion. So I cannot emphasize enough the fact that you need to make sure these dumbbells are not stopping halfway with your elbows at a 90-degree angle. You need to bring those elbows down a little bit. You need to pull that weight into your armpits. It should fit right snug into your armpit and then press from that spot. We're not getting nearly the range of motion that we could get. You're likely going to need to lower the weights a little bit because the deeper the range of motion, the more time under tension you're placing under the muscle. So the muscle has to work a lot harder because it has to move through a greater range of motion. You're going to get more fatigued, which is great because if you're getting more fatigue, more stimulus with less weight, then you're able to grow your muscles faster and better. You're getting better development in shape and size in the muscle because you're actually working them through the full range of motion. And you're also able to lower your risk of injury because you don't have to lift as heavy to get the same level of stimulation in the muscle. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, so now we've got a Smith machine, looks like deadlift it's a bent over row. I assumed it was a deadlift because it's got some big ass weights here. Jasmine's got she's standing on a little like step up box so that she can elevate herself a little bit because her Smith machine has stoppers that are really high and she wouldn't be able to get a full stretch. So she steps on a box so she can get a greater range of motion in that. I like the tempo. I like the lift. I don't know if there's anything here to adjust, Jasmine. I think this is really good. And I like the weight. It looks like at least 135 on the bar. So you got some solid weight on there and you're moving it pretty easily. So that's awesome to see. Love it. So yeah, that's it for Jasmine. Nice work there. April, we have a trap bar deadlift, 205 pounds. Good ass weight. Let's take a look and see how we're doing here. Technique looks good. The weight came off the ground real easy. We got 3 reps, 4 reps, 5. Yep, starting to fatigue, starting to get tired. That's good. 5 reps at 205. I like it. Good job. April, I don't think there's any feedback that I have to give you. Try to grab another 10 pounds or 5 pounds each side. I want to see at least 215 next time you're doing the trap bar deadlift. Very, very good work there. I don't know which set that was, but particularly if that was your last set, you got a lot more lifting to do on that lift. Sarah, got a bit of text here. I'm going to read this first and then we'll get into the exercises. She says, I know these are both not great. Definitely felt humbled during this workout. I try to stay positive and to be happy that I'm just trying. Sometimes I watch my videos and think, oh my God, I look like an idiot. Bar path still doing ovals and I still can't seem to get much lower in the split squat. It was my first time not holding onto something. I'll work on getting that knee lower. Am I far enough away? So she's asking like, am I getting good enough depth for this to work? And the answer I can tell you right away is going to be yes. Any depth is going to be okay. You're going to get the work done, but let's take a look and see how we can improve on this one. So I know you're elevating your heels here. Your depth, still needs some work, but you're getting better. And the fact that you're really conscious of it is that says a lot about your effort in trying to make this a higher quality rep for you. I'm going to challenge you to try to really widen your feet out. Have a really wide base with your squat, Sarah, and see how that feels because we have to kind of match up our foot positioning with the genetics that we have with our hips. You got wide hips, Sarah. So have a really wide stance next time. Keep your knees nice and wide and see if you can sink deeper into that squat comfortably. Because I know that you physically can squat down lower if you had better foot positioning. And I think that right now what's happening is your hip bone is bumping into your femur, so your thigh bone. Your hip bone is bumping into your thigh bone as you squat down, and it might be causing a little bit of discomfort or pinching at the bottom of your squat. But if you're able to widen your feet out a little bit more and then open your knees up as you're squatting, what that's going to allow for you to do is sink a little bit deeper so those bones aren't bumping into each other at the bottom of your squat. Overall, I think it looks pretty good. And then we got the Bulgarian split squat. First time that she's doing this unassisted, and she's got some dumbbells there too, so that looks pretty good. Yeah, this isn't bad, Sarah. I like it. I would say you'll probably feel a lot more stable and probably be able to get even a little bit lower and honestly, look at this rep. The bar's in the way when I pause it, unfortunately. But your knee depth looks pretty good. You're getting a lot of quad focus on this one just because your active leg is really close to the bench. So if you took a half step forward or even a 2/3 step forward in your position and then squatted down, you're going to, 1, get a little bit more glute, and 2, probably be able to get a little bit deeper. You'll also feel a lot more stable doing it. When your foot's really close to the bench, you're going to feel a lot less stable. Let's see what the other side looks like. Not low enough on that one. Yeah, so we just want to work on that depth. It might be better for you right now, Sarah, to just go with no weight and try to get that back leg, that back knee, to actually touch the floor and then come back up. Try starting off with just the range of motion, low, like drop the weight entirely, get your knee all the way down to the floor, and maybe you need to still stick with assistance. So no weight, and then if you had like a dowel that you were holding onto that was planted in the ground with one hand and you use that as a bit of assistance for stability as you lower yourself down, work on that range of motion first, and then let's add a bit more weight after, okay? All right, let's see what we got next. Sarah again, first time with 45s on there, brought feet closer in as I was concentrating on keeping the bar closer to me. Really worried about my back, so if you can assume me, I'm doing okay with my form, I'll keep it up. First time with 45s on there, brought feet closer in, and I was concentrating on keeping the bar closer to me. Good. Really worried about my back, so if you can assume me, I'm doing okay with form, I'll keep it up. I think that was voice to text. Okay. I think foot position is okay. It still looks a little bit wide, to be honest. Because the reason why it looks wide is like, Sarah, look at your arms. Look at the angle of your arm, like where your shoulder is versus where your hand is. We want your shoulder and your hand to be in a perfectly straight line, straight up and down, or as close to that as possible. Mine are probably a little bit outside of like a perfect right angle. Like look at the bar in your hand. We want your hand and the bar to be at a right angle. So right now it's not. It's at an obtuse angle. It's at a wide degree angle. But if your hands are in like closer to where your shins are, then your hands would be directly underneath your shoulders in a straight line. The wider that your hands are, everybody, the harder this lift is going to be. The more rounding in your shoulders you're going to get, the heavier the weight is going to feel. You're just not going to be as strong when you have your hands really wide. So bring your hands in, and if your hands are in and now they're touching your shins, well, that means that your shins are too wide. So you got to bring your feet in again. So feet have to come in, and then hands have to come in. First time with 45s, this is like easy weight for you. You're moving that like nothing. And again, you got double overhand, so you are just straight gripping with your forearms 135 pounds. Same advice as Sam. You got to do the switch grip. You got to get straps because your glutes, your hamstrings, your quads, and your lower back are way, 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 way stronger than your forearms. You're going to drop the bar because your forearms are getting fatigued before your glutes, legs, and low back even get any work done. So let's remove the limiting factor being your forearms so that you can actually lift heavy enough to get strong in the muscle groups that we're trying to target: glutes, low back, legs, okay? Here's a side angle. Yeah, the like confidence in the lift and the technique looks good. I have no issue with that. It's just that your hands and feet are too wide and you need to get straps so that you can lift heavier. Because truthfully, Sarah, you can probably put 25 pounds more on each side of the bar as like a new starting kind of feeling out that heavy weight spot. So you need to get the straps. You need to go from 135 to 185. Keep the same technique that you have otherwise, and things are looking really good. Your body's just too wide. Your arms and your legs are just too wide for you to be able to lift heavy enough, and your grip is going to fail. Chelsea, Smith machine, hip thrust, 140 pounds. The bar is hurting me this whole time, and I have some bruises. Any suggestions? So let's see where this bar positioning is for you, Chelsea. She's doing hip thrusts on the Smith. The bar looks like it's a little low on your hips. Like it looks like it's almost on your thigh bone. So maybe having it a little bit higher could help. And this is the one lift that would actually make sense for us to use that foamy pad. A lot of people put that, that like foam pad that you can slide onto a barbell. A lot of people do that when they're squatting. We don't want to do that when we're squatting. But putting it on your hips here would actually be a good idea. So put that pad on the bar, then you won't have that discomfort or bruising in your hips. But I think that the technique is really good. I think that you're lifting a good amount of weight, so that's awesome. Smith machine deadlift, 120 pounds. Let's take a look at it. This is Chelsea once again. She's got the same issue with her Smith machine as Jasmine, where the bar doesn't go all the way down to the floor. So she has to stand a little bit higher on a little platform. And she's doing a good job of that. And the bar is right over top of her feet, so she's keeping the bar basically touching her shins the whole time. Good weight. Nice and explosive. You're stronger than this too. Again, you got the double overhand grip. Got to get the straps so that you can lift a little bit heavier. If some of you are like not getting straps because you're worried about how to use them, one, it's really easy to figure out, and I can show you, and I've even made some videos on how to do that. And two, there's some other straps. You could call them clips, where they're actually just like metal hooks. So you don't have to adjust them. You literally just use the Velcro to strap around your wrist so that it's secure. And then there's a metal hook that you can't move, and you just throw that hook over top of the bar. That might be a little tricky with the Smith machine because you do have to grip the bar on the Smith machine and rotate it to lock it into place. And that hook would probably be in the way for that. But for standard barbell or a dumbbell, and you just want like a quick, easy, mindless way to remove your forearms from the equation, those hooks would be really helpful too. You could just go on Amazon and look up weightlifting hooks, and they'll come up right away. Again, they're going to be like 15 to 20 bucks to get a good pair. Medicine ball airplane, the balance is so hard. Yes, the medicine ball airplane is a hip mobility and core stabilization exercise. Great warm-up exercise, very challenging exercise. So not too bad here, Chelsea. What we're going to want to do over time to get this exercise to look better and better is we want to ideally have your heel and your shoulders in a straight line parallel with the floor. So you got to bring your chest down. You got to bring that back foot up so that your back leg, the off leg, and your shoulders are in a perfect straight line. And then you're doing the rotation from that position. See how you're in a bit of an angle here? That's just because this is new. It's going to require balance. It takes time. This isn't something that we need to modify or or anything like that. It's literally just a balancing thing that you're going to get better with over time. But balance is so important and so underappreciated in fitness. That's why I always try to add in a couple different balancing exercises for all my clients here. So this will just take time, but you're doing a good job of it, opening up the hips to the sky as high as you can. Not much we can ask for on that. Nice work. Jasmine, I want to double check to see. I think we did cover your box jump, but I'm not sure. And this is looking really good. It's kind of hard to do box jumping correctly, everybody. There's some cues that we can do to have a more effective box jump. We can't see your body because your body is out of frame before you jump. But when you're loading the exercise, when you're like getting into position right before you explode up into your jump, that's loading your body, is when you're squatting down. You're squatting down about like a half of a normal barbell squat. So you're not going like ass to grass or hips parallel with the kneecaps or anything like that. You're getting you're getting into like a half squat position. You want to have your arms back behind your body. So we call that like putting your hands in the holsters. Your elbows bent at about a 90-degree angle. You pull your elbows back as far back as you can. And when you're in that position, bent over in that half squat, hands in the holsters, simply means that when your elbow's bent at 90 degrees and pulled back all the way, your hand is probably right at your hip. And imagine if you were like a Western cowboy, you had a couple revolvers in your holster on the side pockets. That's where your hand position would be, is right down where your hands are at your holsters. So squat halfway down, dip your chest down, straight back, chest up, hands in the holsters, and then as you explode up and forward onto that box, you're throwing your hands forward, extending the elbows at a forward angle in the direction that you want to jump. It looks like you're doing that because naturally we're going to do that as human beings. So you are doing that, but just to place more emphasis on it, hands in the holsters, squat all the way down first. You're not getting much of a squat before you jump, so you could confidently jump higher if you did bend your knees a little bit more and dipped your chest down a little bit more. But overall, this is looking pretty good, Jasmine. The fact that you're able to jump up to, what is that, a 20-inch box after 1 year and having lost over 70 pounds is really, really impressive. So that's a good job. That's a really good job there. Okay, Kaylin, this is 2 weeks ago now, so she's got her good mornings, but this is from a couple weeks ago. We have seen that one already. That is it, everybody, for our Form Friday. Hope that you had an amazing Christmas. Hope that you enjoyed all the good food. Hope that you overate and just indulged and enjoyed all of it. And now we're back on track. We're back to weighing our food, tracking all of everything that we're doing, getting our steps in, crushing our workouts, hitting some PRs, and getting ready for the new year. I am going to announce shortly tomorrow morning I'm going to announce a call for everyone to jump on, and we're all going to set goals for 2026 and get ourselves straightened out so we know exactly what our objectives are and how we're going to get there in the new year. I know we already do have goals, but when we have timelines and we can associate that with our goals, it makes it that much more apparent and easier for us to adhere to. So I'm excited for that one. Look forward to it tomorrow AM. I'll post it in the community chats. If you are not a client and you're listening to this on Apple Podcasts, thank you so much. Hit the subscribe button so you can get more of this content 3 times a week. We post our live calls. We didn't do one, obviously, this Wednesday because it was Christmas Eve. And I think that's it. If you're looking to get some help in 2026 to achieve your fitness goals, get there and actually keep them long term, like actually sustain the results that you want, shoot me a message on Instagram at HintonNation_coaching, and I'll see if I can help you out. That's it, everybody. Have an amazing rest of your day, and I'll see you on Monday for Mindset Monday. Peace out.